If you want to learn how to make this delicious, delectable, tender BBQ brisket in a crock pot, stay tuned. This video is going to be yet another installment of my Crockpot cooking series here on my channel. If you guys have not seen the other videos, I now have a playlist. So I'm going to link the playlist so you guys can enjoy all of my Crockpot videos. So for this recipe, I'm starting out with my Crockpot. I'm going to use some 2 pounds of grass-fed beef brisket. I'm just showing you guys the cut of meat. I'm going to use some yellow mustard. And for our rub, some light brown sugar, some smoked paprika, black pepper, pink Himalayan salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. I'm going to go in with some mesquite seasoning rub, Montreal steak seasoning, some Worcestershire sauce, and about a half yellow onion chopped, and your favorite barbecue sauce. So first, I'm just going to throw together my rub. I am just going to pretty much all of the seasonings I just showed you. I think I took about a tablespoon of the mesquite seasoning and the garlic powder, everything that I just showed you. And I'm going to take that to about a ratio of 1-3 with the brown sugar, just so it can have a little bit more sweetness to balance out the salty seasonings we are using. And that is pretty much it. And the smoky paprika is going to give us a little bit of a smoke taste, since we are going for a barbecue brisket in a crock pot. You feel me? Like, you could do this year round, and it's so easy, it's so simple. You pretty much set it and forget it. So I'm now going to mix all of my spices together for my rub, and once it is combined, I'm going to set it to the side. So now I have already washed my brisket, and I'm going to pretty much lather it with some yellow mustard, and I'm going to brush that on there just so that our rub adheres to it. You don't taste the mustard if you don't like mustard. It pretty much just acts as another layer of flavor, but it doesn't taste like mustard. I know some people use mustard for their ribs when they're putting it in the oven, or whether they're barbecuing. I know people who fry their chicken with mustard. It does not have a mustard flavor. I don't know why. It just make your seasonings and everything taste better on your meat. I guess it's a tenderizer, maybe. I don't know. Somebody look up the science behind it. I'm going to flip this over, as you can see, and I'm just going to thoroughly cover both sides with mustard, brush that on, and then I'm sprinkling on our spice rub that we just made up. And do as I say, not as I do, because in this video I did not realize that I put my brisket fat side up, and you should cook it fat side down. So it just turns out it still tastes good. It's just a little bit easier to remove the fat. So I just sprinkle on my half of onion, and I'm sprinkling a little bit of water around our meat. Going to go in with a couple of dashes of Worcestershire sauce, and that's pretty much it. Like, this recipe is very simple to start off with. So now I'm just going to add my lid on, and this is the set it and forget it part. You literally come back hours later. I believe that I cooked this on low, but you can cook this on high too. So 6 hours later on low, I come back and I'm testing if my meat is tender. It is tender. So now I'm going to just start pulling it apart. But as you can see, that fatty membrane on top, it should have been on the bottom, just for it to be a little bit more easier to pull apart, and I don't have to pull as much fat off. But it still turned out delicious. But like I said, just learn from what I did. I'm taking out a little bit of our cooking broth because there was a lot in there. And now I'm just going to add in my barbecue sauce shortly. I'm going to continue shredding it up with 2 forks. This is like my favorite way of shredding chicken, beef, whatever the heck, because it's simple. It gets the job done. No extra fancy tools needed. So I'm just showing you guys how tender our meat has gotten throughout the course of cooking in the crock pot. It's so delicious and tender. I love tender beef. It's so good. I low-key was doing too much trying to show y'all how tender this meat had gotten, because I'm sitting here trying to steady pull out. Look, fall off the bone tender. Ain't no bone, but I want to show you. So now I'm going to go in with my barbecue sauce. And I didn't really use a measuring cup of how much I added. Just, you know, add to taste. And then you're going to sprinkle in the rest of your sweet onion that you didn't already use in the first place. I used about half and half then. And now I'm just going to mix it together. Once you add in your barbecue sauce, the cooking process is pretty much over once you add in your barbecue sauce. But I'm going to let the flavors simmer and marinate a little bit more. I did go in and add a little bit of honey to this for a tinge more sweetness, since I didn't have actual honey barbecue sauce from Sweet Baby Ray's. I just had the regular barbecue sauce, so I'm adding in my own honey. I'm going to taste this, and I'm telling you guys, this was so good and tender and just the perfect amount of sweetness without it being too overly sweet or salty. This was so good. I'm using some potato rolls as my bread. You can use this, serve this like however you want to, literally just with a fork, but we usually eat it as a sandwich. I toasted up my potato rolls, and now I'm just going to start to serve this up. Oh my gosh, this looks so good as I'm drooling, doing this voiceover, looking back at this footage like... I think I was making Nick sandwich when I was plating this up, so he likes his sandwiches pal high with the meat. And as you can see, guys, this is a very simple, easy dinner. You can do this for parties. It's like literally a good, healthy, not healthy, hearty meal, child, and not that much effort put into it at all. Like, literally add some fries on the side, tater tots, chips. Oh, you could do potato salad, macaroni, some baked beans, like whatever you want to do. If you're craving barbecue even in the winter, this is a good, you know, substitute for you can't get it because it's snow on your grill or something. I don't know, but this recipe is one of our favorites in our household. I hope you guys try it out and enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And enjoy the nummy numbness of this clip. Bye. Peace.